Hello everybody, and welcome back to Asheville Vedic Astrology's YouTube channel, youtube.com/Ryan's Vedic Astrology. It's my good pleasure today to introduce to you a very special person, Mr. Shivaraman, who is a Hindu Sayana Panchanga maker. For the last 3 decades, he's been working with a small group of scholars, Mr. Avtar Krishan Kaul, as well as Sri Darshane Lokesh, and the focus of their work has been promoting the tropical zodiac as the foundation for the reformed Sanathan calendar. Mr. Shivaraman has been, for the last 10 years, taking up the task of translating these calendars into English and Tamil. And you can find more information about him at www.reformedsanatancalendar.in. He's been analyzing the star positions on the cardinal points every 1,000 years, from 10,000 BCE to 10,000 CE. And this is all tabulated on the Reformed Sanathan calendar, which is available on the website. And there's also documents there discussing chronology of various Hindu texts. So again, it's my pleasure to have him on this channel. And we'll go ahead and get started with some of the questions that we have for him today. So the first question we have is, could you please explain in your own words the difference between the tropical and the sidereal zodiac?
Thank you, Mr. Ryan, for asking me some questions regarding the tropical and sidereal zodiac. I will now answer your questions. Tropical zodiac is the one that the sun marks on the ecliptic that has a 360 degree span, which has been divided into imaginary 12 equal parts of 30 degrees each on the basis of the ingress of the sun into the first degree of the sign, otherwise known as Sankranti. This is a more natural division. Such a Rashi Chakra or wheel starts from the vernal equinox, and the solar journey is said to be complete when there is the next vernal equinox. It is also known as seasonal Rashi Chakra. When the same ecliptic is divided into 12 imaginary divisions, where the solar journey is supposed to be starting from some star either directly or indirectly, it is said to be a sidereal zodiac, and the journey is said to be complete when the sun returns to the same star point again. The difference between the vernal equinox and the star or its opposite point, as in the case of Chitra, is said to be the Ayanamsha. Since it is unrelated to either the seasons or constellations, stars, none of the Puranas or Siddhantas, least of all the modern astronomy, has endorsed it.
The next question we have is, why is it important for us to consider the tropical zodiac at this time?
Now, your second question. Important consideration to use the tropical zodiac is that it is Earth and Sun or season based and have no Ayanamsha, and more in tune with the nature.
And what led you to consider the tropical zodiac in your own work, when the sidereal seems so integrated in Indian society as the most appropriate zodiac? How long have you been utilizing the tropical zodiac?
Your next question, question number 3. We do go by the Vedas. There are no Rashis in the Vedas nor in any of the Vedangas. Even the Atharva Jyotish has no Rashis. Taittiriya Samhita stanzas relating to the seasons mentions that By means of sacrifice, gods went to the world of heaven. They, however, reflected, men will follow us here. So they blocked the way by the device called ear and went to the world of light or sun. The rishis discerned this through yajna by means of the ritugraha or season cups. With this, they understood the year. 12 cups are drawn. The year consists of 12 months. Of them, 2 are drawn together, and therefore seasons are in pairs of months. The season vessel has mouth on both sides, for who knows where is the mouth of the season. These stanzas clearly show that earthling humans should be content with rituals based on the seasonal year and should not go to the bright world of sun for calculating their calendars. Surely a negation of the sidereal system. Since the Puranas and Siddhantas talk only of a tropical zodiac, the so-called sidereal zodiac seems to have crept into Indian ethos much later. Rashis or signs that are being used in the reformed Sanathan calendar are Puranic and Siddhantic, and the imaginary 12 equal divisions of the ecliptic with the vernal equinox as the starting point and successive Sankrantis as their division points. Of course, for calendrical date purposes, a day or two may be this way or that way here. The position of the solstices and equinoxes are in the cardinal signs, and the vernal point is always assumed as the beginning of Aries. The lunar calendar is pegged onto the solar calendar, and so our calendar is a lunisolar calendar. You may call this as tropical zodiac. This is purely earth and sun or season based. The season based months are mentioned in the Yajur Veda as Madhu and Madhava for Vasanta Ritu, etc. Several Brahmanas and Puranas state that the year comprises of 6 Ritus or seasons of the 2 months each. Shishira Ritu or winter and the Vedic month of Taba start simultaneously with Uttarayana or the northern course of the sun. That is winter solstice. As for the Drik or as seen principle, the event is identifiable by its being the shortest day of the year. The very month is always known as lunar Magha. Vasanta Ritu is the opening Ritu of the year, and therefore Madhumas is the opening month of the year, which falls on February 20 of 2018. Moreover, the Indian government calendar also shows Madhu Mas, but uses the second month, Madhav, and vernal equinox day as the beginning of the calendar. Ironically, it calls that month Chaitra instead of Vaishakha. Shaka New Year begins for us also on vernal equinox day, that is in the middle of the Vasanta or spring season. That nakshatras are of unequal span is known for a long period of time, and even it has indications in the Puranas. We have taken the sidereal nakshatras as per their actual longitudes, not average 2.25 nakshatra per sign as in sidereal system, and changes are noted every year. As mentioned in the Vedas, we have used the nakshatra Abhijit Vega also. So we have 28 nakshatra in our calendar. We have shown the path of the nakshatras around the Ritu based zodiac. Today, the spring equinox happens in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, that is Alpha Pegasi or Markab. But to the Ayanamsha people, it is Ashwini or Beta Aritis or Sharata. Lay people are thus taken for a ride. For nearly a decade, we are publishing the new calendar. The Hindi calendar is known as Shri Mohan Kriti Arsh Patrak, edited by Shri Darshani Lokesh, and the trilingual abridged reformed Sanathan calendar is published by me. Even prior to this, our mentor Shri Avatar Kishan Kaul was publishing his Shri Kishan Universal Ephemeris and Panchang in English for well over 3 decades. He is running the Hindu calendar group at Yahoo.com, where a gold mine of material and discussions could be found.
So often the use of the tropical zodiac has been blamed on Western non-Indians as trying to appropriate the Indian tradition. Aside from yourself, are there other Indians that also have been working to restore the utilization of the tropical zodiac? Who are they? And from your experience, is the restoration of the tropical zodiac something new to Indian society, or is there a longer history to it?
In our Vedas, your next question. In our Vedas and Puranas, there is no mention of a sidereal zodiac. All we find are mention of the 12 months and 6 ritus or seasons, and the 2 days when day and night are equal, and another 2 days when daytime is shortest and longest. Don't you realize this as purely tropical and earth-centric? Vedic astrology itself is a misnomer, at least the Rashi-based one. So, to claim that tropical astrology or zodiac is more Indian than the sidereal astrology, zodiac, or vice versa, is not correct. Of course, the Vedic people looked at the nakshatras to decide the auspicious periods for doing yajnas and other rituals, but never used a word about that zodiac or rashis or predictions. Sri Avatar Kishan Kaul had thrown a challenge to the siderealists to show a single sloka stanza from any Purana or Vedic text that speaks of the Nirayana or sidereal Rashi. So far, no one has come forward. Astrology today is a $1 million business and receives political patronage too. We are not in the astrology business, but gives out the correct positions of the celestial bodies without any Ayanamsha tuning. We are slowly gaining ground. We only want the Hindu community to celebrate all their fasts and festivals on correct days as prescribed in the Vedas and Puranas and other texts, and reap the benefit. It is sinful to observe this on wrong days, virtually 23 days after their real happening, as per the baseless Nirayana system. The Calendar Reforms Committee of the Government of India in 1952 had noted on page number 260 of their report that, I quote, in continuing to follow the Nirayana system, the Hindu calendar makers are under the delusion that they are following the path of Dharma. They are actually committing the whole Hindu community to adharma. We have no quarrel with astrologers using whatever system they want. We believe that a correct prediction can be made by one who has divinity, good intuition, and blessings from the heavens. In the midst of a plethora of sidereal Panjangas, we can definitely say that we are the pioneers in propagating the correct Ritu-based calendar. One or two private persons try the tropical zodiac for their prediction work, but we have no correct idea. It is difficult to change the habits of people, but our efforts have stirred the minds of several people. That is the litmus of our success.